We're always looking to modern psychology or the latest self-help trends for answers. But what if a guide to navigating life's biggest challenges was written centuries ago? Today, we're cracking open a classical Chinese text, the Life Treasure Manual, and trust me, you're going to be shocked at how relevant its advice still is for our world today.
It's a question we all ask ourselves at some point, right? How do we find our way through all the noise, the expectations, the chaos? Well, this ancient text doesn't just offer a map, it offers something better, a compass.
And this is the core idea that starts the whole thing. It's not about controlling the world out there, not at all. It's about mastering yourself. The text is basically saying that when you have that inner clarity, when that lamp in your heart is lit, everything else just kind of falls into place.
So here's the journey we're going to take. We'll start with the self, building our inner compass. Then we'll move outwards to figure out the social maze, apply all this to purposeful action, strengthen our family and foundation, and then we'll get to the most profound lesson of all, the art of letting go.
Okay, first things first. Everything starts right here, in your internal world. Before you can deal with other people, your job, or your family, the text argues you have got to get your own house in order first.
What's so wild about this is how it completely flips our modern instincts upside down. I mean, our default setting is often to critique, to gossip, to point out what's wrong with other people. This manual just says, nope, stop, turn that lens right back on yourself. The real growth happens with introspection, not with judging everyone else.
We can call this a kind of radical self-awareness. It's the discipline of consistently and honestly checking in with yourself, your motives, your actions, your own shortcomings, long before you ever think about commenting on someone else's.
And this isn't just some big abstract idea. It's a daily practice. It's actually a pretty simple two-step process. First, literally schedule 5 minutes a day to just quietly think about your day. And second, before you talk about someone else, just pause. Ask yourself, is what I'm about to say actually helpful, or is it just gossip? So, how does all this inner work actually help us on the outside? Well, once you've got that strong inner compass, you are so much better equipped to navigate the seriously complex world of human relationships.
This is just such a practical, down-to-earth piece of wisdom. It's a reminder that the people who are physically right there in our daily lives, our neighbors, our coworkers, are often way more critical to our well-being and support system than family members who live halfway across the country. It's a nudge to invest right where you are.
The text also gives us this incredibly strategic social advice. So when you're dealing with a principled, noble person, just be direct and honest. Flattery is going to get you nowhere. But with a petty or difficult person, the advice is to not even engage. Don't make them your enemy. Just step back and let their own nature create their own problems. It's a masterclass in choosing your battles.
And wow, this chart really hammers home the stakes. The text says 100 years is not enough to build. One day is more than enough to destroy. Looking at this, you get it instantly. It's a stark reminder of just how carefully we have to tend to our reputations and relationships because they are so fragile.
Okay, so we've worked on ourselves and our relationships. Now, how do we apply all this wisdom to what we actually do in the world? Our work, our careers, and our ambitions.
The manual lays out 4 key pillars. First, your actions should follow a moral code, not just chase the bottom line. Second, your words need to connect with people on a human level. Third, and this is a big one, self-reliance is everything. It's way better to depend on yourself than to always be asking for help. And finally, never stop growing, both ethically and professionally.
And what about money? The philosophy here is pretty profound. Instead of being on that endless hamster wheel of chasing more and more, which the text calls excessive seeking, it says it's much wiser to simply reduce use. True wealth, it suggests, is found in contentment, not in just piling up more stuff.
All right, so from the public world of work, let's bring it back home to the most intimate sphere there is, our family. How do we build a strong and harmonious home life?
I mean, just look at how complete this advice is. When it comes to your parents, it's not just about taking care of them physically, but about supporting their spirit, their goals. And for your kids, the goal isn't to make their life easy, but to teach them strong principles. And for yourself, the foundation for all of it is to live a life of simplicity and substance.
And then there's this simple, practical, and absolutely timeless rule for protecting the family unit. It's a powerful reminder that family issues are usually best resolved inside the family with discretion and a real commitment to sticking together.
So, we've built our inner world. navigated our social lives, we've acted with purpose, and we've tended to our families. So what's left? What's the final piece of this whole puzzle? What's the ultimate goal of all this hard work?
This is the most mind-bending idea in the entire manual. After all the work of building and learning and achieving, the final step isn't about getting something new. It's about letting go. It's about releasing our attachments to outcomes, to our ego, to all our stuff.
And there it is. This is the summit of the mountain we've been climbing this whole time. The ultimate freedom, the ability to rise above the daily grind and anxieties, it all comes from the power to simply let go, to release that white-knuckle grip on how we think things have to be.
So I'll leave you with this question, straight from the heart of this ancient text. This isn't about changing your entire life tomorrow. It's about right now. Based on everything we've just talked about, what is one small thing, a grudge, an expectation, a worry, that you can choose to let go of right now today?